Hello there guys, and welcome to another race here in Titanium Red for round number 17 in Japan. So yeah, after having my worst race I've ever had in my sim racing career, being way worse than the Independence Day race because I DNF'd in lap 1. It was for the second time in a row in this league that I DNF'd on lap 1, and I did not wanted to get into that thing, but well, it happened, and here we are in Japan. I was a bit afraid about the start of the race, and also I did not have much confidence about myself because yeah, I looked at the weather forecast for the race and it was gonna be some rain in some part of the race. I think it's gonna be in the second half of the race, and I got a bit scared about it, and so yeah, I gotta qualify well. So yeah, we're leaving the garage. I set the medium set of tire location because I'm expecting safety cars in certain laps that I might need two mediums, or that the two mediums are gonna be the fastest strategies of the race, depending on what the race is going to happen. And oh boy, I'm a bit scared, but if we make a good qualifying and if we maintain it clean, it's gonna be all fine, right? Well, let's find out. But another thing that I want to tell is that oh yeah, it's gonna rain, and that means that it's gonna be more risks of getting DNF'd. Not because I would crash or spin. No, it is because the drivers might spin and I might not avoid these drivers. So yeah, that's the thing I'm most afraid of. Oh man, I wanted to tell something but I forgot. So now let's head into the flying lap. And we head into the Casio Triangle chicane, and I almost locked my rear brakes, but oh, I almost spun. And we head into our first qualifying lap of the session, and we head into turn 1 F gear, heading into 330 kilometers per hour, and I ran wide and invalidated my lap time, and I exited turn 2 and spun, and no way, I just crashed into the barriers and damaged my suspension. And oh man, despite being on qualifying and yeah, I can make a comeback in the race, I I I did I did get scared. I got really scared about it because that mean that I'll start down the order, and that mean that I'll be man, I have to survive the back marker slash midfield chaos into the early laps. And man, I'm extremely scared about it. And then during qualifying, during that laps, I got pretty stressed out. My nerves were pumping up, and man, uh, I was thinking that still, even if I try to avoid the most possible, I would still be DNFing. I did not have much confidence about myself finishing the race, and oh, I got pretty scared. And man, it is what it is. Hope I do pretty well in the race, but at that time I was getting really scared and I wasn't feeling really comfortable, and I was thinking that something will end up terribly wrong and I'll end up in that crash and I'll DNF once again. Oh boy. Before we head into the qualifying results, I wanted to tell you the thing I forgot to mention because I forgot to say it, and it was that I also set the medium tire location, the balanced ones. I got 2 mediums instead of having only 1 medium but having 4 softs, but I decided to go for the balanced ones because I was thinking that during the race I would be on mediums and I might damage my front wing and there's gonna be a safety car, and then I box for mediums and replace my front wing. And yeah, I was thinking about that scenario, but it was because I wasn't realized that there's gonna be forecast for some rain during the race, but still it won't matter that much because for the race at least I'm gonna have 2 new soft tires unless rain hits for the entirety of the race. I don't know, but now let's get into the qualifying results. We see that Minjek got pole position with a lap time of 126.655, and I think he set a lap time faster than my fastest lap time that I did on time trials. So yeah, he's done a faster lap time than I am capable to do, so getting pole position was impossible. Meanwhile, Alex got second place in qualifying with the lap time 7/10 slower than his teammate as well as my teammate Minjek. So yeah, he got a dominant pole position, and it is a dominant 1-2 in qualifying 48HR because third place Jonan set a lap time 1.5 seconds slower than Minjek's time and 8 times slower than Alex's time. So yeah, it was a dominant qualifying for THR, at least for Minjek and Alex. Meanwhile, outside of the top 3, it is Chopper, Sirbiti, the 2 THRs, which are Andres and Salomon Restrepo or Sailor, then Jimmy, then Mauricito, then Salazar. And I forgot to mention that Jimmy set a lap time with medium tires, and now heading into 11th place. Maroro set a lap time of 130.397. P1P qualified P12. Ismail 7 Lipton in 13th place and Company in 14th. And these 2 drivers that I mentioned previously set lap times on medium tires. And meanwhile, myself, Destro, and Chote qualified in the final 3 positions without setting a lap time. And with that, hope I survive lap 1, and here we go for the race. Well, before we head into the race, we see that the pre-race strategy, oh no, it was not a good news for me because I thought that it was gonna be raining for the entirety of the race, and that'll be an inters. So yeah, I'll be on intermediate tires for the entirety of the race, only using 2 sets of them. And yeah, it's gonna be a tough one. I did not want that thing to happen because there'll be more risks of DNFing, and way worse if it's at the race start. But well, we gotta do it carefully, and I set the fuel down to 49 kilograms, underfueling the car, but I think I should have underfueled the car way more because there should have been a safety car in the race, but I was not expecting that much of a safety car. I don't know why, but I should have expected a safety car, maybe 2. But now let's head into the race and hope I survive lap 1 at least and finish the race after that. And while my nerves were getting me and I got way more nervous than the last few seconds, the race is getting away with the fire brake lights being turned on, and we are on the way for the Japanese Grand Prix, and I wanted to move from the left to the middle because I thought that, well, he actually got a terrible start. Ismail got a terrible start. I thought that he was gonna be having a way worse start, and we see that Andres is out of the race. He's out of the race, and that means that the safety car, the full course safety car, has been deployed. Thank God that I am here without any damages. I decided to go careful without committing to go through the outside, overtaking or trying to overtake those drivers. And yeah, I think that was the good choice for me. And ooh, I saw company getting teleported. That was a bit scary, and oh my, I was getting pretty stressed then. And man, I got extremely stressed, and I have no. Oh boy, Destro, you scared me so much. I got extremely scared when I saw Destro being teleported. Oh, that was one of the scariest race starts I've ever had in my sim racing career. Maybe one of my early races might be way more scarier than this one. I don't know, but yeah, that level of stress and nervousness these weren't the ones I've gotten since like my early races, or when I was debuting in some league races. For example, here in Titanium Red, when I made my race debut back in Monaco, I set pole position and made a dream debut, and made for the first time and only time for now my hat trick. And here we are, we survived lap 1. Yeah, here we go. Now let's survive lap 2 and lap 3 and the other laps, and let's finish the race. Finally, for the first time since the Netherlands, we've survived lap 1 and also lap 2, and maybe we are gonna survive lap 3. The safety car is ending in this lap, and we begin racing once again, beginning lap 4. And yeah, we survived lap 3, but now let's survive at least one proper racing lap. And Campania breaks a bit early, and we see that Maroro has run wide into turns 1 and 2, and I am gonna be still behind Campania. And yeah, I'm trying to see in which place am I going to overtake Campania. And we exit turn 7, and we go to the inside and overtake Campania. We're wheel to wheel, and we head into turn 8, and I decided to back off a little bit, and Campania has done a mistake and ran wide, and I go to the inside into turn 9, and we overtake Campania. And oh boy, Cirbiti has spun, locked his rear brakes, and I avoided him. And oh, we are now in P11 because P1P has spun as well. So yeah, we have done a good driving in terms of avoiding crashes, and yeah, we have done it. And next target is Maroros, and hope we overtake him in the next few laps and get into the points. Yeah, I'm not used to drive on rain in Japan, and I did not know which speeds to get into the 130R, and I went too slow. I went down to 6th gear. I braked there. I know that I cannot do flat out, and we are into lap 5. We survived a proper lap finally, and well, hope we can overtake Maroros, but we gotta be smart. Into turn 11, I choose to go for a different racing line, and I get a better traction, and I overtake Maroros around the outside into turn 12, and we have done it. And heading into the Casio Triangle chicane, we are almost locking the rear brakes, and oh no! I just got spun by Maroros, and man! No! No! What have you done, Maroros? Why? Why have you decided to go like... man, you ruined my race. You have ruined my race. You destroyed my floor, and... man, I'm down to P11. He got karma because he damaged his front wing and he needed to box, and P1P is out of the race, but that didn't deploy anything, just only gel flags, but the gel flags are nothing. Man, floor damage, and now I'm running pretty slow because I did not get much confidence about running with floor damaged, and I don't know how will the car react, but it is going pretty slow, and man, I'm not having much confidence in overtaking Campanilla. I don't know if I'll overtake him. I don't know, maybe I'm just too slow to overtake him. Man, Maroros ruined my race, but yeah, on that time I was a bit more desperate to finish the race, and I was realizing that the car is getting a more inconsistent behavior because of the floor damage. When I headed into the first spoon corner, I almost lost the car, and I am still not used to go at 130R in wet, and I'm still struggling with the car, and we head into lap 7, we're still in P11, and that is not a good news for me. And to make things worse, CBT is trying to overtake me into turn 12, and he's going for it, and we're wheel to wheel heading into the first spoon curve, and man, he overtakes me down the inside, and I cannot compete against him because I have my floor destroyed. Man, I don't know why, but I decided to not deploy ERS, and man, I went too slow on the 130R, and we begin lap 8, but still we are in P11 because CBT has a 3-second time penalty, and he's less than 3 seconds ahead of me, so he's demoted down to P12. And he's trying to overtake Campanilla down the inside into turn 1, and they're wheel to wheel, and CBT overtakes easily Campanilla, and he's up into the points physically, but not officially because of his penalty. And meanwhile, I am trying to at least overtake Campanilla, but I decided to wait until the few quarters, but well, I was trying to catch up Campanilla, but I'm not able to do that thing. I cannot do that thing, and we head into gonna be turn 9, and man, I locked my rear brakes because I touched grass, and nice pun. And we are down to P13, which is technically dead last because Ismail Lipton is 16 seconds behind me, and Maroros is my goodness me, 55 seconds behind me, and he's on full wet. Oh my, he's thinking that it is still F122. Man, how can we tell him it is not F122 anymore? It is not F122 anymore. It is still fast enough for inters. Rain isn't that terrible. Oh man, now the gap between Ismail and myself got reduced down to 5 seconds, and now my safety car got deployed, and well, I stayed out, and still I decided to stay out because I told my engineer I would box in like lap 14, well, at the middle of the race, and we are only finishing the first third of the race, and well, here we are with the second safety car of the race, and hope that after that it gets better. But yeah, during those parts of the race, I was a bit desperate about it, and I wanted the race to be over because I did not want to drive here anymore, to be way more stressed, although I don't think I got way more stressed after the race start. I think I got less stressed. So yeah, in reality, I was still really stressed, but I wasn't that stressed as on the race start. But yeah, I wanted to finish the race. I wanted the race to be over. And we see that, oh, we got side pod damages. That is way worse. And yeah, even though we have floor destroyed, we have side pod damages. Man, well, hope that thing doesn't mean that I'll be so slow that I won't even finish in the points. We are heading to the bunched up field that isn't even bunched up yet, and we heat up our tires and we wait until the safety car ends. We see that Campania and Jimmy are boxing, and we overtake these drivers, although I'm yet to box, and we are up into P9 for the first time. We are in the points in the race. Hope we can maintain that position, maybe even better, but for now, let's maintain that place and not make any ridiculousness during the safety car. At the end of lap 12, the safety car ends, and with that, racing is once again, and hope I don't DNF. And we see that Chote is boxing, and he has a 5-second time penalty, I think so. And we begin lap 13, and we're halfway through the race, and we head into turn 1. A bit careful because I don't want crashes. Well, I don't want to be involved in crashes, I wanted to say. And we are on a bunched up field. I'm pretty much scared anything wrong can happen, and I hope that nothing wrong happens, and the good thing is that nothing wrong is happening. And we head into turn 9, and we see that these drivers are driving cleanly, and we head into the hairpin, and oh, Jimmy has spun, locked his rear brakes, and I avoided him easily, and we are up into P11, and that'll convert into P10 because CRVT has a 3-second time penalty, and he's less than 3 seconds ahead of me, and that means that we are in the points officially. On the very next lap, we are heading into turn 10, and Mauricito is out of the race, and that deployed the third safety car of the race, and that means that CRBT's chances to not getting demoted to many places to get out of the points because of his penalty gets dropped, because the field is getting punched up, and that means that during these situations CRBT might be demoted down to like P12, but it is a safety car and it's gonna end in like 3 laps, so the field will spread out, because after that it will be like 12 laps to go, or maybe 10, and CBT might get pretty far away from the drivers behind him and like cancel his penalty, kinda. Like he gets like more than 3 seconds ahead of the driver behind him, so if he finishes like, for example, 5th position, he'll stay in 5th position, because even though he'll serve the penalty, the gap will be so much that even with that penalty he'll stay in 5th position. So we are heading into the bunched up field that it is now bunched up, and we are, well, kinda heated up our tires, although with those intermediate tires in the rain, it isn't that necessary to heat up aggressively the tires. And on heavy rain, when we are in full wets, it is gonna be less usual to heat up aggressively the tires. So now let's wait until the safety car ends. Lap 16 and the safety car ends, and we see that our tires are a bit cold, but they are barely cold, and we begin lap 17, and we are wheel to wheel with my company, and I'm going to risk it, and we are going to the inside into turn 1, and I decided to back off. I decided to not risk, but still I decided to go back and risk it, and I overtook Campania down the inside into turn 2. We are up into P8. That will convert into P7 because of CBT's penalty, who is right ahead of me. And we are seeing a 3-way fight for P5, or it is just a 2-way fight for P6, or maybe it is gonna convert into a 3-way fight if I run like Jan Opmeer. And I say that because, well, my floor is destroyed, and oh boy, I almost spun into the grass. I locked a little bit my rear brakes, and Salazar is getting overtaken by CBT, and he's down to P7, but still he'll be up into P6 because CBT has the penalty, but not anymore because Salazar has spun, and we are up into P7. That converts into P6 with the penalties applied. Lap 19, we head into turn 10, and the safety car has been deployed once again, and Salazar is out of the race. I think he crashed and destroyed his front wing, and he retired from the race. Race quitted, I think so. And here we are boxing in this lap for the second time. I forgot to mention that I have boxed, I think it was on like lap 10 when I boxed, and we see that Yonan also has a penalty. I think he has a 6-second time penalty, well, 6 seconds of penalties accumulated, so that means that we are in P5 with the penalties applied, and we are about to enter the pit lane, and I said risk it and violate the delta time, almost getting penalized with the drive-through penalty, and we entered the pit lane, and we are boxing for another sets of intermediate. So yeah, it'll be a 2-stopper instead of a planned 1-stopper that I was supposed to do when the race began. And we are down to P9, but we don't need to worry much about it because it is because we boxed, and I think that's the place where we should have been. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know what am I talking about anymore, but for now we are seeing that we are heading into the bunching up field, and I don't know why did I press the... Oh wait, I think I was extremely stressed. I forgot why did I pause and let the AI drive my car. I forgot. The thing that I said about that I was so stressed, I don't think it was the reason, but yeah, even on that part of the race where it was 7 laps to go, I was still a bit stressed, and man, to be honest, I haven't been that stressed since my early races of my sim racing career. So yeah, man, I was really stressed about it, and I was in doubt about finishing the race, but it looks like, yeah, I'm finishing the race. And at the end of the very next lap, the safety car ends, and with that, racing is once again beginning lap 22, and we see that Serviti is trying to overtake Sailor, and Serviti overtook Ismail 7 Lipton, and oh, he's teleported, and I don't know what happened to Ismail, but he was teleporting, and oh boy, I think Serviti got a bit of a struggle with himself and with other drivers, because he's dropped down to P8, and we see that Sertor has a 5-second time penalty, so that means that we are up into P6 with the penalty that he's applied, and Chote is in danger of being overtaken by Sertor. Oh boy, Chote almost crashes into me because he's run wide into turn 9, and I almost crashed into him. Thank God I got reflexes, and I could avoid Chote. We see that Yonan has a 6 seconds of penalties accumulated, so that means that we're in P4 with the penalties applied, and we see that we are a bit more than 5 laps to go, so that means that we can deploy a lot of our ERS as much as we can, because during the rain you can get a bit more ERS than on dries, because you don't have to utilize the throttle too much, and with that you can spend less ERS. Lap 23, and Seltor overtook Yonan, and yeah, because Seltor is my teammate, that's good on him. And on the next lap, despite being down to P5 with the penalties applied because Seltor was just really fast and got away with Yonan and myself, and now he's more than 5 seconds ahead of me. Despite that, and being in P5 with the penalties applied, I decided to overtake Yonan physically, and we are doing this around the outside in the triangle and the Casio triangle, and we are doing this thing, and we are physically up in P5, although we were still in P5 with the penalties applied, but I decided to overtake him just in case the Seltor spins or something like that, but I hope he doesn't spins, because well, he's my teammate. And now into the 130R, I realized that my engine was overheating a little bit into like 131 degrees Celsius, although it was just a slight overheating, so I don't have much to worry about that thing. I haven't noticed that thing at all. I almost knocked my rear brakes, but the good thing is that I could maintain the car and so that means that we have 2 laps to go, and if I maintain the car, we can finish P5 and finish the race finally. And on the final lap of the race, despite having the floor destroyed and maybe side pod damages, we head into the 130R and we head into the final corners on the final lap of the race. Alex wins the race, but finally, after 2 DNFs on lap 1, finally we are completing for the first time since the Netherlands a race. Finally we have done it. P5 from P15. What a comeback we have done. And yeah, although it was a pretty much of a scary race that I have, and a pretty stressful race for the entirety of it, and despite having the floor destroyed and some side pod damages, maybe yeah, we finally finished the race, and I felt like yeah, finally some reward after suffering. And yeah, we see that there are 11 finishers in the race. Minjek finishes 2nd place, Destro finishes 3rd, and Seltor finishes 4th position. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that the reason why Seltor got the penalty, it's because he sped in the pit lane and he tried to appeal it, but well, unfortunately it was his own mistake, and it was because he put the pit limiter on, yeah, and he was gonna to enter the pit lane within the speed limit, but he accidentally turned off the pit limiter and sped, although he said that he did not press the button. So I don't know, I don't think it'll be appealed, and he'll maintain with the penalty and he'll finish 4th position and destroying 3rd. I finished 5th, Chopper in 6th position, Yonan in 7th, Chote in 8th position, Campania in 9th position, Ismail in 10th, and Maroro is the only driver who failed to score a point. Meanwhile, despite Serviti not finishing the race, he got classified as P12, and I think Destro, who finished 3rd position, got the fastest lap of the race. And that is it, guys. This is the end of the video. Hope you have enjoyed it, and see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.